Welcome to The Real News. I'm Jaisal Noor here at BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport. Workers and advocates have gathered here today to speak out at what they say is systemic discrimination against African American workers here who get paid less and get worse jobs than their white counterparts.
I've been working here 3 years and I still make $8 an hour, which I was promised to raise every 6 months, but no, still make $8 an hour.
I worked at BWI Airport for a year and a half now. I make $6 an hour flat wage, and we make tips, and we pool our tips at my restaurant. So I can tell you that our tips average about $20 an hour.
The Real News repeatedly reached out to both BWI Airport, which is publicly controlled, and Air Mall, the private company that manages its concessions. Neither responded.
We are calling this report a missed opportunity because since this airport is owned by the state of Maryland, the airport could be a place where inequality is being whittled away, not encouraged.
The scathing report, authored by Unite Here and endorsed by the NAACP, argues that by employing black workers at lower wage jobs compared to their white counterparts, BWI Airport concessions programs exacerbate inequality in Baltimore's African American community.
Fast food workers are among our largest group of minimum wage workers, with workers of color disproportionately represented and especially concentrated in the lowest paying jobs, where only 10% of workers hold management positions, compared with almost half of the white men who work in fast food industry, further perpetuating the racial wage gap.
83% of the workers in the food and retail concession program are African American. In the highest paying jobs, the front of the house, bartender, and servers jobs, less than 40% are filled by African Americans. In fact, our study showed 38%. This is of grave consequence to our state, but particularly to the city of Baltimore. The vast majority of the workers at the airport live in Baltimore City, where the inequality gap is unfortunately quite large.
I live in the Park Heights area right now, and that area is not, it's not good at all. Like 2 people just died recently up there. So it's a hassle every day to know when I walk out my door that everything is going to be okay, and hopefully I can get back home. But out there, it's not a lot of jobs. It's a lot of killing, it's a lot of stealing, it's a lot of everything. It's not a lot of jobs.
The stories of African American workers like Natalie Hickman, who makes just $8 an hour, contrast sharply with those of their white counterparts, like Jeremy Pollard, who makes an average of $26 an hour with tips.
I work in a shop with in a restaurant with 10 coworkers, or with 9 other workers, and none of my coworkers are African American. Despite the fact that I'm born and raised in Baltimore, which is a city that's about 70% African American.
And there are lots of African American workers at BWI.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say they're the majority of the workforce at BWI and food service. I would say that with certainty, that they're the majority of the food service workforce at BWI.
And so, how do you feel about that? The fact that, I mean, what you're implying is that because of the color of your skin, you're making more money than people that have a different skin color.
I'm actually kind of not implying it. I mean, it's the reality. It's what plays out at my workplace every day. I don't like it, and I don't agree with it. I don't think that it benefits me personally to, even though the system works for me in that situation and for monetarily, in the end it doesn't benefit me because it doesn't benefit Baltimore City, and I live in that society.
And do you feel like people are kind of trapped in that situation?
Yes, because I'm trapped in the situation now. Even though I don't work out there, but I try very hard to come out here every day to work, and it's still not enough.
You know, in a society with rampant poverty, when a large section of that society is kept out of, good-paying jobs, whether maliciously or not, the end result is the same, which is a shop where 10 people make very good money and none of them are African American. And it's that inequality anywhere would irk me, but especially in an airport named after Thurgood Marshall.
Unite Here told The Real News that the union and supporters are demanding Democratic nominee for governor Anthony Brown end the state's contract with Air Mall. For The Real News, this is Jaisal Noor in Baltimore.